guys, we have some really sad, really breaking news that just came out as of right this second, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm not really sure how many of you guys are gonna be sitting here crying like how I am, going to bed hungry like I am because I just can't eat because of how bad this news is. This is regards to Google Stadia, officially now shutting down. Hey guys, and welcome to really cringy skits coming over here from your boy Scrubbing. We actually have some pretty big news coming out over here where as of just not too long ago, we are now getting the official statement that Google Stadia is shutting down, and well, I guess it's just gonzo. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys before I fully dive in this video. I kind of thought that Google Stadia was already planning on shutting down for a while, so when I hear this news and see like this breaking news and it's actually shutting down, etc., with dates and times and all of that, I was a little bit like, I thought this already happened, but funny enough, throughout my making YouTube videos and talking about this type of stuff with streaming and xCloud and PS Now and all of that, I did always keep on seeing Stadia mentioned. So in my head, I'm always thinking like, well, maybe it's just like passive viewers or whatever it may be, but apparently I was all wrong, where it's now actually fully shutting on down. So we have a lot of stuff to talk about this, and we have a big seance over here too for Google Stadia as well. If any of you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. We have the Amazon links down below, Target links down below, and keep on pushing a lot on the Weeble signups. Make sure you guys check that stuff on out, and well, let's dive on into it. So as I mentioned, the 3 users of Google Stadia, if you guys ever used it or are sad about this news, leave a comment down below. Don't want to insult you, but they now have confirmed it from Google themselves that Google Stadia is shutting down. So Google is actually refunding all Stadia purchases, hardware, software, and DLC, and members of the Stadia team will be carrying this work forward in other departments at Google. Now, as I mentioned, I kind of thought that this was like, I thought that was like kind of going for a while, because there was a pretty popular meme basically always going and stating that, well, at the end of the day, no one really used Stadia. Like, I mean, some people did. I'm sure there were some folks that enjoyed it, but I remember seeing things like Destiny 2 had like 5 people playing it. So like you can't even like do a party with folks with like, say, Google Stadia. And I kind of feel like this is once again one of those things that's just before their time. If this would have released maybe 5 years from now, with a really fine-tuned product, a little bit more of a better launch, I think people would love it. But right now, we still are in these early stages of like streaming and cloud computing, where it's okay, but it's not great, it's not amazing, it's not like, oh my god, this is a huge wow factor. Plus, there's also the big issue of games and game licensing, which I think, if anything, Xbox probably has the best solution, because with their xCloud, they can then go do anything on Game Pass, which would make a lot of sense, because then you have a lot more game options versus, say, Stadia. So with this, Google Stadia is shutting down its cloud gaming service. The service will remain live for players until January 18th, 2023. Google will be refunding all Stadia hardware purchased through the Google Store, as well as the games and add-on content purchased from the Stadia Store. Google expects those refunds to be completed in mid-January. So at least if you guys did go and spend money on Stadia or did whatever, at least you are going to get money back. A few years ago, we also launched a consumer gaming service, Stadia. Stadia Vice President and GM Phil Harrison said in a blog post, and while Stadia's approach to streaming games for consumers was built on a strong technology foundation, it hasn't gained the traction with users that we expected, so we've made the difficult decision to begin winding down our Stadia streaming service. Employees on the Stadia team will be distributed to other parts of the company, which, obviously, if you liked Stadia, which I don't think a lot of you guys probably did, based on them saying that no one used it, you would be sad, obviously, if it's shutting down, but thankfully there are other alternatives, or just buy like a laptop, PC, or even a game console. It's not the end of the world. But the part 2 of that is that I like the fact that all these employees are probably still working on very valuable tech or have good insight, and they can be then pushed to other different sources of Google. I think we just recently saw some news that Facebook is actually doing a hiring freeze, as well as also potentially doing layoffs and restructurings. So I will have to give a little bit of credit towards Google, where they're just going to go and make sure they're still employed, which I always think is a very nice feature as well. So Harrison says Google sees opportunities to apply Stadia's technology to other parts of Google, which I would agree on. There's probably some cool stuff out there, like YouTube, Google Play, and its AR efforts, and the company also plans to make it available to our industry partners, which aligns with where we see the future of gaming headed. So they actually could still even just reroute this project, rename it, make it a little bit more fine-tuned, or do it specifically, maybe imagine for Ubisoft, Or imagine like offering solutions for anyone who wants to be a part of the cloud gaming. And I kind of feel like that's what Google wants to do. Could be wrong, we could kind of see, but I mean, like imagine like an EA or Ubisoft who doesn't really have a good streaming solution, just pay money and get like work with Google, and they make good money, you know, at the end of the day. So Google detailed some of the finer points of the shutdown in FAQ. Refunds will automatically be made through the Google and Stadia stores, so you don't have to actually return any hardware. Stadia Pro subscriptions will not be eligible for a refund, but you will not be charged during the shutdown period. You can access the games you might have redeemed as a Pro user until everything is officially wound down. Google has closed the Stadia store too as well, so you can't buy games or in-game transactions. The writing has been on the wall for Stadia for a while, which, like, I kind of started off my video over here as kind of a joke, but it is kind of true. I kind of thought this was already in process and was going to happen almost no matter what either way. So I'm kind of surprised that it did last this long. Although it is Google and they do have a lot of money, so I mean, at the end of the day, is it really that big of a deal? So, at least with this one, yeah, Logitech even announced this new cloud gaming handheld last week, and Stadia was one of the few cloud gaming services not mentioned, and Stadia has been facing rumors of its demise practically from the start, and Google also has the habit of getting rid of projects only a few years after they launch, and Stadia, a cloud gaming service from a company with few ties in the gaming industry, seemed like a prime candidate. But I do think it was kind of cool because a lot of people knew of it, and it had a pretty strong brand name. But the big thing is that, I don't know, like, it wasn't like, I'd rather just play on PC. I'd rather play on my console. Like, I'd rather not have to deal with the lag. The game options really weren't that big. Like, it wasn't a bad product, but I kind of would put it towards the PS Now. PS Now wasn't awful, it just really wasn't amazing. And that's why I do have a little bit more faith maybe in the Xbox Cloud, because like I said, with at least the functionality of Game Pass and a lot of single-player games, that I don't really mind. Like, if I want to travel and go somewhere, I'd probably keep my Game Pass subscription on PC, depending on like the month or if I want to cancel or not. And then it kind of opens up a lot more options. So like say I'm doing a lot more traveling or I'm going to different areas, I can see that being a pretty good vibe of a gaming PC or whatever. You know, maybe they do an Xbox handheld. I can totally see it. But when it comes to Stadia, it just wasn't, like I said, it just really wasn't that good. It wasn't bad, it just wasn't really good. So basically there was rumors that it was going to shut down after a number of games released for the platform slowed, and the company shuttered its in-house game development studios, and then when these rumors popped up this year, Google insisted that Stadia wasn't shutting down. Rest assured, we're always working bringing on more brand new games to the platform and Stadia Pro, the company said in a tweet, which was true, and then it shut down. So Microsoft, which is now invested heavily in cloud gaming, declined to comment, and NVIDIA, which makes the GeForce Now cloud gaming service, and AT&T, which used the Stadia tech to power a couple of game trials, all did not respond as of yet. But it's kind of crazy too, because I was kind of looking for some of this stuff, and I was curious on what the numbers might be. And some folks are saying that there is estimate around 2 million users, which are obviously not all like, you know, paid monthly subscribers, probably just people with accounts or did stuff in general. And this was as of a few months ago. So, I mean, like, that's not awful. I think if most companies or products can hit 2 million users, like, that's pretty good. Like, you'd probably still get the thumbs up. But if you're Google, one of the biggest companies in the world, and you're spending money and paying big salaries and just kind of getting a lot of kind of bad PR of, oh, you're Google, I thought you're supposed to be a tech company. Oh, wait, you're failing. Like, you can't even do cloud computing. That could definitely be a little bit of a problem, even PR-wise. So the big thing is they just never really got a lot of games. The Surface was always just very okay. And, like, I think a lot of folks didn't even really know what Stadia was. Like, they knew it was cloud gaming, but they didn't really know what they could do with it or what, like, how to launch it. I'll be honest, I don't even know how to even, was it an app? I don't even know. I never looked into it, in all honesty. Was it an app? Was it, like, just a website? Was it just website links? I generally, actually, God, couldn't tell you. And I feel like I should. I'm a Twitch streamer. I'm a YouTuber. Like, I feel like I've made like 5 Stadia videos at least, including this one. Like, I feel like I should know about this stuff, but I have literally no idea. But I do agree that I do think that if this was launched like 5 years in the future with better launch and better connections, it could have probably worked out pretty good. Like, I really do think right now cloud gaming is going to be the future no matter what. But it's kind of like, say, electric cars where you could see the future, but you're not fully sold yet. Like, there's some good features, there's some good perks, but there's definitely things they have to work out and a few kinks they have to get done. So, like, if you want to be an early adopter, like, I mean, I don't know. Like, sometimes you get met with the program actually being shut down. But at least on the one bright side with this one, too, as I mentioned, we have the Stadia Google Store as well. They still got some games if you guys want to check it out. But even looking through, like, this pro membership for $10 a month or whatever, like, I don't really want to play literally any of these. Like, I don't, like, here's a Calico game or something, Time on Frog Island. I have not heard. Five Nights at Freddy's, who cares? You know, it just kind of goes to show that Stadia really wasn't that good at the end of the day. But, you know, rip in peace. We'll see you later. You had a good run, Stadia, and hopefully you come back in the future, and hopefully it's better. So leave me your thoughts and comments down below. As well, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Weeble links down below, Twitter and Twitch stream down below, and subscribe with the notifications on. I have a lot more videos all throughout the rest of today.